and welcome back to my channel. I am sure you all have missed me so much and that I haven't been vlogging or doing videos. I'm sure you all, missed that as part of your weekly routine. But I have it's just been insane. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a life update here in a second. But I thought that today, or this weekend, would be a perfect weekend to jump back in to doing YouTube and making videos every week, because I'm going to visit my friend Sydney. She's one of my best friends literally ever, and she lives in Seattle. And since it's Labor Day weekend, I'm gonna go and visit her and hang out with her and her husband for the weekend. So I figured this was a perfect video to jump back in to getting back on the weekly YouTube video grind. That's what I'm here to do. Once I'm more out on the road and driving on the highway, I will give you guys a little bit more of an update, like a little life update, so we can just kind of all get on the same page. Of course, stop number one before I leave town is to get myself a little beverage. No road trip is complete without Starbucks. Okay, so is this the most flattering angle or most fun to look at? No. However, I don't have anywhere in my car that I can set my phone to actually even film. And I don't want to just hold my phone and try and film, because that just feels dangerous. I was trying to film in traffic, but then that became a problem because I just, I don't want to get in an accident. So we're doing this. I wanted to do a quick little life update. I was going to do this in an entire video, make its own video, like a sit down video, but I just don't think that's necessary because there's only a couple things that I want to update you on. First off, the main reason that I have not been filming as much is because I got a job, which is good, and I'm really happy that I've gotten this job. I am working just back in another medical office doing scheduling and stuff for people's surgeries, is what it is. It's not the dream job by any means, but it's the job that gets me the paycheck that will allow me to move to keep doing the dream job, right? And it lets me keep creating content right now when my content's not making money or much money. To have a job, it's great, but it has been tricky because I have to relearn my balance, because I had a pretty good balance going before where I was working my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or whatever, and then coming home and being able to work no problem, work on blog stuff or YouTube or social media, whatever, no problem, and it was fine. And then on top of going back to work, I also had to finish the last 2 classes that I had to finish my degree. So it's been 2 Spanish classes that I've had to take so I can finally be done with undergrad. I was going to finish in 2020, and then because of COVID, everything kept getting pushed back and everything just kept being the whole thing. So it did end up happening. It's taken 2 years for me to get to this point where I can take these classes and finally finish. inflammation and the pain and the blah, blah, blah. Coming someone who is immunocompromised, because I will have like I have barely no immune system as this all goes on. Having to become immunocompromised and having little to no immune system in a global pandemic has been a very unique challenge that I haven't known how to traverse, really. And I think becoming immunocompromised would have been a struggle on in regular times, but having it be during a massive pandemic with a fairly deadly virus going around, especially to people who are immunocompromised, it's been a lot. It's been scary. It's been stressful. And so, of course, when all of those things are going on, I don't exactly feel like being creative or filming. All of that's been going on. I also had to switch my medications I was using, because the first one that I tried was giving me a little bit of an allergic reaction, so I have to wait for the new one. And I also, of course, during all of this, I also got a cyst on my left ovary the size of a lime. So I was dealing with that, and I was in and out of the ER for a few days and out of urgent care and just in a lot of pain and super uncomfortable and just having a really bad time. They wouldn't deal with it. They told me that it wasn't cancerous or anything like that, so there wasn't anything they could do until it got bigger or until it started to twist and flip my ovary. So instead of them doing anything about it and me being able to live my life, I have been in pain for the last 6 weeks, and only recently has it started to finally get better. I missed work. I wasn't able to do things I wasn't able to go and visit my boyfriend. I wasn't able to do all of these things because of this massive cyst, right? So that's finally going away and getting better, so hopefully that's the end of that. I don't have to deal with that again. Speaking of boyfriends, that brings us to our last little announcement. I have recently been broken up with. Breakups are never fun, but I feel like long distance ones are always worse for some reason, and I've done both. I've had breakups with people who I live in the same town with. I've had breakups that are long distance, and typically for me, long distance breakups suck the most, especially because in this particular situation, I did not see it coming, and I was not prepared for what happened. Feel very blindsided, especially since, like I said, I thought everything was fine. I thought we were moving in a good direction. It has not been good either. And so all of these very fun feelings have just not left me feeling very excited or motivated to create. However, over the last week and a half or so, because we broke up, I guess it's been about 2 weeks now, I've been really evaluating my life, my goals, my priorities, and everything that has to do solely with me and myself. And I realized that when I met my now ex-boyfriend, I had kind of said no more dating, no more anything for a little while, and needing to kind of get back to myself. I had just gotten out of a pretty shitty relationship when he and I got together. I guess it had been about 6 months since the shitty relationship when I got together with my most recent ex. I really should have probably taken more time and really just been with myself, and that was the goal. But then I met him and we just really hit it off and things were really great, and I don't regret it. I think it was the right decision at the time, and I don't regret that relationship at all. But I think moving forward, I need to be incredibly intentional with the kind of people that I let into my life, especially when it comes to romantic relationships. I should have been doing this already. I really did not think that having these kinds of health issues were going to be the issue that it was, and it was definitely not the main reason, but I know it was one of the reasons that he broke up with me. It's a lot to take, and I get that, and it changed much quicker, I think, than either of us thought or were ready for. That's part of it, is, moving forward forward. These health issues are not going to go away, and at some point they will eventually get worse, because that's just the way that they work. Moving forward, any romantic partner that comes into my life needs to be completely vetted, 100% on board for me, no matter what that looks like, whether that's days in bed, whether that's helping me with injections if it needs to be, right? And so that's another thing that I really need to work on. And then of course, as I'm driving to Seattle, I'm listening to one of my favorite podcasts called Note to Self, and it's by Peyton Sarton. She's a content creator I followed for many years now, and she launched a podcast, I feel like it was at the end, it was like the end of last year. I was behind on a few episodes, so I've been listening as I have been driving, and two of the most recent ones, one is entering your villain era, the other is how to get things done and like feel okay when you're feeling overwhelmed. And both of those were episodes I really needed to hear, and I didn't necessarily realize it until I was listening to them and was like, wow, this is super applicable to what I'm literally dealing with exactly right now. That's kind of where I am headed, and as silly as it sounds to like make goals and plans YouTube video, I am really excited to just focus on myself and put myself first, because I've never done that from basically the time that I was born up until now. I've had tiny moments of it where I've decided like this is what I'm doing for myself, but in general I am very much a people pleaser. I am very much putting others before myself, doing things if I can help somebody else, then I do it. And not to say that's always a bad thing, but when it comes to relationships and things of that nature, I need to be more firm with my boundaries and who I am, and get my own shit in order. Not let anybody else into my life until that's where I'm at. So moving forward, we are going to be doing something that Peyton called like ruthlessly editing your life, and that's everything from like getting rid of toxic people, setting boundaries, editing, even just like the more superficial things of like only wear the clothes that make you feel good and happy in the way that you want to feel, and only do makeup that makes you feel good and happy in the way that you want to feel. And if you love having your nails done, then do that. If you love getting making sure your hair looks a certain way, then do that, right? That is what this next phase is going to be. It is going to be the villain era. We are going to ruthlessly edit. As sad as I am for this breakup and for these health things that have happened, as much as I am still working through these things, I am excited for what this next phase is going to look like. And I think this kind of next phase, era, whatever, of my life is what's going to bring me actually closer to what I really want my life to be. And hopefully you guys are ready and happy to come along, because I'm going to document, and we're just going to go on this journey together, ups, downs, and everything in between. That is my little life update for you all. The rest of the vlog is going to be way less serious, I promise. It's going to be hanging out in Seattle and having a good time. But I just want to get that out of the way at the top, just real quick. I am finally in Washington. I still have about 2 hours left of my drives. If I don't film anything for the rest of the evening, I will talk to you guys in the morning. So I know I have not vlogged very much like face to face with you today, but we were just out and about all day, and we were with one of my friend's friend who I don't know until today. So I didn't want to just like be filming myself talking to my camera or filming myself in general. So that's what you guys just all saw. So tomorrow we're gonna, I think, go to the beach and I'll film some more of that. I'm just gonna take a shower and then we're gonna just have a little movie night and enjoy just hanging out, not doing much. So I'm just gonna shower real quick and then just have a pretty mellow night. Good morning. Today is Sunday, my last full day here, and I go home tomorrow. So I think we're gonna get breakfast soon and go to the beach and just have fun, relax, enjoy. We did a lot of walking and stuff yesterday, so my back and hips are pretty sore. Probably gonna have a more low-key day, but either way, it'll be fun. Sydney's just showering right now, and then